Hi guys, this is a lesson for writing a letter to an adult. This is Mrs. Smith, by the way, and I'm going to guide you through these Google Slides for your narrative writing assignment. And as the first slide says, use these slides as a guide for writing a letter to an adult to show gratitude. You will draft your own letter on slide 7. I want to recommend right now to get a pencil. You can pause this video, get a pencil and a couple pieces of, it could be scrap paper, it could be whatever kind of paper you have available to you. Hopefully you picked your stuff up from school so you have some lined paper, or even your narrative writing journal would be fantastic. So we go ahead and grab those resources and then hit play on the video again and watch through all the way through the video before you start your assignment. The first thing I'm going to show you is skip to slide 3, sorry. Slide 2 is going to be this video. For now, though, slide 3 is day 1 video on showing gratitude. This video is great. It's about a 5-minute video. So what you do is you click on it. You actually have to click on it and then wait. And you can hit the full screen in order for it to be full screen for you. And I would recommend that because it's a pretty cool video to watch, and you don't necessarily want to just watch it on a tiny screen. So then I'm going to go over here, and this is where you're going to generate your list of why you should show gratitude to adults specifically. We're going to do a couple letter writing activities for the next couple weeks. But this one is focused on writing a letter to an adult. And we're going to show, right now we're just going to write a list of any adult of why we would show gratitude toward an adult. So some examples that I might give are they provide food, all right, food for us to eat, whether that's the school or your parent, whoever is doing that, providing food for us to eat, provide a place to sleep. You know, like I said, it might not be fancy, but it's a place to sleep, a place to provide a place to live. If you're sitting on the couch right now, that's because of an adult. If you're on the computer, that's because of an adult. Creates places for us to have fun. So some adults like people who build, play places, those rock and jump places that you like to go, those trampoline parks, all those things are created by adults. Parks, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, excuse me, I just sneezed. So we're gonna move on. A couple more things might be simple things like folding my laundry. If you fold your own, that's awesome, or put your own laundry away, that's awesome. But if you don't, then you need to add that to your list. Cooks for me. Again, a lot of times my kids cook for themselves simple stuff, but probably the more complicated stuff, somebody else is doing that for you, whether it's at a restaurant and you're going up to the cashier and they're cooking it for you. Pays for things, adults pay for things, they pay for the electric bill for you to have electricity, they pay for everything, your water bill, your gas bill, your food, lots of things. So teaches me how to plant, like I had somebody teach me how to plant things. Teaches me me writing, because Miss Smith is doing that right now. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze again. So lots of things I'm sure that you can list. Gives me comfort. Adults a lot of times give us comfort. So there's that. So just make your list, just generate that list of just everything you can think of, and don't forget the small stuff. This next slide is simply a slide that has different reasons why you would want to show you care. These have more than just showing your care for an adult, but they are great examples of how you can take this lesson and do it on your own in your own time with someone else that's maybe not an adult. This list, I already kind of started a little bit here just to save time, but slide 5 is going to be where you're continuing to generate ideas. You're going to generate ideas on your specific person that is an adult, and just give a brief description. So for example, I put my older sister's name here. Her name is Christina, so that's who goes in my box here. And you can have fun with this if you want to make it whatever font, as long as your teacher can read it. That's the biggest thing. I would keep it within the gray squares. Don't make it gigantic where it fits. But like I went off the sides here, and the black doesn't show up, so I had to make it white. So how you do that is you just highlight the whole text and go up to the text color, and you can change it to whatever color you want. So I'm going to show you how to add. So where it says type here, you just double click. And then you type. You can obviously get rid of type here, but don't backspace too much because you'll get rid of the whole text box. And then if that happens, just click the undo button. So I'm going to add right now. I already added. Sorry, she was really good with taking care of me and my younger brother and sister. She checks on me every day to make sure I am staying healthy. She worked really hard and bought me clothes. She always helped me when she was at home before she graduated, style my hair. I had like really long hair, and she was really nice, and she always helped me style my hair. And then the last thing I'm gonna add here is something that she did for me is she always helped me, or read to me when I needed it at night. So like when I was really young, she was really good about reading me stories and kind of helping me go to sleep at night when I had bad, dreams and stuff. She was kind of a second mom to me basically because there were 5 of us in the house. So she was important to me. So it can be any person, and it doesn't even have to be anything big. Like she, for a while, we didn't get along too well, but she did do a lot for me. So I appreciate that, and I think it's important to show gratitude. So again, these are your 2 generating ideas slides, and then you're going to move into this. What I recommend, and it's down here in the notes section, is to take this slide and hit present mode. When you hit present mode, it's great because then you can see everything a lot better. It shows you the different parts to a letter, which is the next slide that you're going to do. So when you write a letter, and a lot of you might not know this, your heading includes your address and date. If you don't know the address of the person that you want to write the letter to, ask a parent or somebody you're with and see if they have that address. And if they don't, it's not a big deal. Just put just put the date at the top actually, and then you can find their address eventually. But I'm sure there's a way to look that up. Then your greeting, you want to make sure you write dear, want to capitalize that D, and then put their name and then a comma. And then we have our body. And you can read that later, but I like this page a lot because it tells you specifically what each part is and why it's important. So like for example, write the main part of your message. The body of the letter can be as long or as short as you want it to be. I want to challenge you to write at least 4 or 5 sentences. If you're really truly showing appreciation and gratitude for somebody, then make it worth your while. And you have those thought bubbles, and I believe there's 5 or 6 thought bubbles of how that person helped you. So make sure that you use those to generate your sentences. Then we have our closing and our signature, and then PS is something like if you forgot. On one of the slides, which it's not on this video, but you'll have a slide that'll talk about how to address an envelope and how to make an envelope. So that'll be on one of the slides that you'll have, but I'm not going to explain it in this video because it's pretty simple. So let me go back to the presentation. So now we have our actual letter writing. So this is where you want to be careful. These boxes are a little wonky. When you click on them, don't move them around. And the reason for that is if you move them around, then this whole thing kind of gets messed up. So just be careful not to, once you click on it, double click and just, backspace the word type here. Don't backspace too far. And if you do, just hit the undo button. But this is where you're going to write your address. Again, if you don't know the address, ask somebody to help you out to find the address. That could be a lesson in itself is, how do you find an address? So I'm just going to make up an address here. 321 Flower Lane. She lives in Salem. She does live in Salem, New Hampshire. And her zip code 01234. I'm not really sure, to be honest. You can resize this so it doesn't annoy you, but you really don't have to. It's a little off, but it's not a big deal at all. Again, just click inside the box, back up, but don't back up too far. Then you're going to put the full date, please. So today, for example, is Tuesday, March 31st, 2020. Don't forget there's a comma after the day of the week. There's a comma after the number. The T is capitalized and the M is capitalized for the day of the week, and the month of the year is capitalized. You do not, obviously, I think once you get this lesson, it'll be close to April, so pay attention to what date it actually is. Here, you're going to start with the word dear and then their name. So I'm writing my sister Christina. And then here is the body box, and there should have been the words type here. I believe it'll be on yours. This is where I'm going to add my sentences. So I'm going to probably toggle back and forth. So the first thing I had on here was that she always helped me with style my hair. She read it to me when I needed it at night. She worked really hard and bought me clothes. She checks on me every day. She was good with, I like this one first because it's a more general statement. So I'm going to start with that one. So we're not going to start with she helped me or she helped me, my brothers and sisters and I. I'm not going to write that. We're writing a letter to them. So we want to reword it to say something like, thank you for helping take care of me. And then my brother's name is me, and my little sister's name is Yulin and Kendrick. When we needed, when we were young, because you know I'm older now, period. Then I'm just going to keep typing. So don't worry about the fact you can take the last box here and drag it down to right above the next one. And then you can move this up to right above the last one. So that's what you're going to need to do in order to make this longer. So make sure you watch that. If you need to rewatch that video clip a couple times, but you just take the boxes and you drag the boxes to where you need them. Okay? You can even kind of move this one out a little bit. You want to make sure you put a period at the end of your sentences. You want to put a space after a period. Notice I capitalized my little brother and little sister's names because they are proper nouns. So thank you for helping take care of me, Yulin, and Kendrick when we were young. I'm going to go on to say you always made sure that we had the clothes that we wanted, not necessarily needed, wanted, okay? And I'm going to say, and that was very considerate. Try to use some 4th grade level words here. I'm going to try at least one more sentence. Notice my sentences are pretty long. So if you write at least 3 really solid, good sentences, that's fine. But if you're writing short sentences like, thank you for this, thank you for this, thank you for this, you might want to rethink that because it's not really 4th grade level thinking. You always made sure that we had the clothes that we wanted, and that was very considerate. I kind of need to go back here and look at my ideas to get my next idea. Oh, my hair. My hair was always a disaster. I really, let's see, I'm going to use the word appreciate. I don't think I've used that yet. Appreciated that you made sure my hair was not crazy. Okay? And an exclamation point. So, I love you so much. All right, so that kind of looks a little wonky, but that's okay. I can just kind of drag it out and move it around. I can move this up a little bit so that I can fit it. So just work with it, make it look the best you can. The biggest thing is your teacher has to be able to read it, so make sure you do that. Some of my kids, they love writing things in Google Docs and then like transferring everything. If you want to write it in a Google Doc and just share it with your teacher, that works too. Like if you want your letter to be longer. So I probably would write a lot more than this, but I'm going to end it here just because I'm going to run out of time on my video. So we have closing is where you're going to write something like sincerely or all the best. I'm going to use sincerely. And also don't spell it wrong because it's right here. It gives you examples. So that's really nice. And sincerely, and then this is where you're going to write your name. Sincerely, Sarah. That's my name. And then don't forget a capital letter and a comma. We already did that.